Today we're going to continue the learning that we started in English yesterday. We watched the video, an animation called Catch-a-Lot, and in Catch-a-Lot there was just music. There were no spoken word. We had to use our brains to infer what the characters were saying to each other. So we're going to continue that today, but the way that we're going to try to improve our sentences is we're going to change the position of the spoken word. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click here, change my camera to my visualizer, and I'll just remind us of the picture that we had yesterday. So we had this massive, enormous man. There he is, with a massive, muscly hand. And he is holding up this lad, this young lad. He's a bit nervous, more than a bit nervous, I would say, of having to go out onto the ocean and catch that enormous beast, the monstrous beast that is in the ocean. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to write ocean because it's an interesting spelling. And this man, he's so frustrated because he can't get this lanky young lad. I'm going to write lanky too, because it's quite a good word, because he's like lanky and he's skinny. This lanky and skinny young lad to be motivated or want to actually try to catch that beast. And our conversation is about what they were saying to each other. Now, I am going to change my piece of paper now. And I've done this several times, and each time I do it, my writing goes off of the visualizer and I have to start again. So this could be the time that it goes right. Okay, so we're going to try and change our speech. Now, often when we write dialogue or speech using those inverted commas, okay, we kind of put it at the beginning. So I'm going to do that for our first go. So this is one that somebody sent me yesterday. For goodness sake, most beautiful handwriting. For goodness sake, help me. Exclamation mark. Now remember, we've got a capital letter, and we've got your 66, we've got your 99 around there. We've got our punctuation tucked in just there, okay? Now, see if I can get this straighter. Oops, okay. Now, for goodness sake, help me, yelled. We decided that maybe the yelled might be quite a good word. The enormous man. Now, that's quite a nice way of doing it. What I've got, oh, look, it's come off the edge again, but I wonder if I have realised just in time. There you go. So, for goodness sake, help me, yelled the enormous man. That's one way you could put the bit that is spoken at the very beginning of the sentence. Okay, but no, you can also explore doing this in different ways. So I could start with the enormous man. And I've got this here, haven't I? Yelled, comma. For goodness sake. Help me. There was a comma there. Now, what have I forgotten? Which is the bit that is being spoken? Let's have a check. The enormous man yelled, for goodness sake, help me. Ah, I know what you're going to say. Open speech marks 66, close your speech marks 99 around the bit that is being spoken. So we've got two different ways. I've got the bit that is being spoken at the beginning here, but I've also got it at the end. Some of you might like to change it in another way, because there is another way. Sometimes we can split what is being spoken. So I might have this. For goodness sake. Help me, yelled the enormous. I'm going to have to go on to a new line though for this. For goodness sake, help me, yelled the enormous man. Stop being a wimp. Now, this is a bit like a goal. I can't write around the visualizer. Full stop. It's a bit like a goal challenge, this one. So, which bits are being spoken? For goodness sake, help me. Bit of punctuation at the end, tucked in with a 99 and the 66. So I've got, for goodness sake, help me. Is yelled the enormous man being spoken? No. So this is going to be in the middle of the sentence. But one thing you need to do is put a comma here. Stop being a wimp. Okay, this would need to be a little s, not a capital S as well. And then so we would have our 66 and our 99 there. Okay, I'm going to read it back to make sure it makes sense. It's something that we need to do in class a lot, isn't it? Reading things back. For goodness sake, help me, yelled the enormous man. Stop being a wimp. So this time I've developed my sentence and improved it by actually putting the way that the enormous man is saying it in the middle. So that bit there is interrupting what the actual man is saying. Now, I'm going to try another one now. Number one, I haven't got enough room. Let's just push my paper up. Okay, now I'm going to have what the young lad might be saying now. Put me down. I might do a few mistakes actually. Put me down. Now, how might that young lad say that? I might say whispered. I'm going to use the word young. Look how they make the sound. Lad. Now, that is one way of saying it. I've not got this right yet because I've not used my speech punctuation or my inverted commas. We need to know both ways of saying those words. Now, put me down is what he's saying. So the 66 and the 99 go down here. That's the bit that's being said. But what have I forgotten? Can I hear some voices? I can hear Brody saying, you need to put a capital letter here. And you're right. I need to put my capital letter just there. Put me down. And I can hear somebody else saying, you've not put any punctuation in there. Put me down. I'm going to make that an exclamation mark. Put me down, whispered the young lad. Well, that's one way. I could put the spoken word at the beginning, but as we know from before, there are other ways that we can explore where the spoken word goes to make our sentences more interesting. So I'm going to push this up and I'm going to start with, I'm going to have the young lad whispered. Okay, got capital letter, which is important. The young lad. I might change the word whispered actually to improve this sentence. I might have whimpered. I quite like that one because I definitely think he was whimpering. The young lad whimpered, comma, open speech marks. Put me down. Close speech marks. So what I've done is I've put the spoken word at the end, not at the beginning. That's a way of changing it up a bit, isn't it? But there is another way that we can do it. And that's what I want you to explore today, trying some different ways of doing things. It doesn't matter if you don't quite get them right. It's about effort, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to try and put the spoken word at the beginning and then have it interrupted by who's saying it and then put a bit more as a spoken word at the very end. I'm going to have a try of doing that. I might have to add some more spoken word. I'm going to start with a capital letter, opening my speech marks. Put me down. punctuation in, close the speech marks. Whimpered, I think whimpered is a much better word. Whimpered the young, going to be young, nervous. I'm going to add that word because he's definitely nervous. Lad. Let me check it's all on the visualizer. Yeah. Put me down, whimpered the young, nervous lad. Now there comes a comma because I'm going to add a bit of additional spoken word. Put me down, whimpered the young, nervous lad. Oh, look, there's a contraction. I'm too. Oh, double O for when it's more. I'm too young. Why am I putting on a squeaky voice? To die. I'll put some punctuation in and I'm going to close my speech marks. Oh, I've forgotten something. I wonder if anybody can spot what it is. Put me down, whimpered the young, nervous lad. I'm too young to die. I've not done my 66 there. And actually, the I is always a capital letter. But if you notice, in this other one, I said that one was a little s because we're continuing the speech on. Okay, I need to read it back to make sure it makes sense. Put me down, whimpered the young, nervous lad. I'm too young to die. Now, what I've got put on there, I'm going to can't get my words out. I'm going to refer you to the blog now, and I have put some 5 sentences on there, either spoken by the big, massive, muscly man, or spoken by the young, lanky lad, and they are written just like it would be in the number 1, with the spoken word at the beginning. And what I'd like you to do is to take each of those sentences and see if you can explore putting the spoken word in a different place, just like I have done on the visualizer here. So you could try putting it at the end or broken up the way that the person is saying it in the middle. Okay, have a go. I'm going to have a cough now. Have a go and do make sure that you send me your sentences that explore different ways of different places that you can put the spoken word. Okay, I'm going to just see if I can right click because I'm getting much better at this now. Just switch my camera and then I'll be able to say goodbye and I'll speak to you soon, and I can't wait to see your amazing work. Remember, Miss Scott is wanting to see some of your work, and Mrs. Nicholls and Miss Park are going to be looking for amazing work from you. Okay, it might be in English, it might be in maths, it might be in Times Table Rock Stars. I don't know what it might be in, and we're going to send her one piece of work this week, just one piece of work that we think is really special. Okay, and she is going to contact you herself and celebrate your amazing work. So get motivated and get writing and see if you can explore your speech punctuation, your inverted commas in your English today. Be amazing like you always are.